Hey, good morning to all my subscribers and my viewers. I'm your pound for pound Texan. Thank you for riding with me. I see I got some new subscribers too. I want to thank y'all. Like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment too. And challenge me on some stuff. It's good to be challenged. Ask me. Just ask me anything, or ask me what I might think about something. Just challenge me. It's good to be challenged. I need something to talk about anyway. That's the only way I can kind of like really get in the flow is when I'm being challenged on topics. So, but challenge me. You are responsible for what happens to you, good or bad. No matter what. Even when it's bad, you are responsible for what happens to you. Because here's the thing. Perception is everything. Man, perception is everything. And sometimes with that, you have to take into account that you have to make yourself less a threat. Sometimes you have to make yourself less a threat. It's just like, taking defensive driving where, sometimes you got to watch other people when they driving to make sure you don't have a wreck. But that's the same thing with life skills, just moving around in life. Making yourself not a threat. Hey man, listen. I stay in the neighborhood that I grew up in. When I was a young man, I used to run the streets, exercise. It didn't matter what time I can go take a run. It didn't matter, night, midnight, no matter what time, I could take a run. My chances of dying or somebody messing with me or attacking me was zero. Because I was in a predominantly black neighborhood, and like I say, my neighborhood I grew up in, it wasn't no slums. I know, I can't even consider that. It wasn't no ghetto, it wasn't no slums, but like I say, I live where I stayed at. I live where I grew up at. But these days, I don't move around in the streets like I used to. I don't jog. I can't go jog, take me a midnight jog or, 1, 2 in the morning jog, 3 in the morning jog like that. I can't do that. Not because it's a high crime or I'm going to get mugged. It's because the people that live in the houses that when I was young, they not here no more. It's a different demographic. So the people are different. So I got to take into account that I'm not a gatekeeper like that of my neighborhood no more. There's other people here. And I could be running down the street and midnight or 1, 2 in the morning, and it can just give a bad look, a bad perception. I could be jeopardizing myself by running, at night. People have nice trucks. My neighborhood been basically almost took over by the Hispanic community, the Mexican community, Spanish-speaking community. So, they have trucks and stuff, and they have nice stuff. So, if somebody be running down the street at midnight or something, and something might have been happening, anything, I got to understand this here, that perception is everything. So I got to make sure I'm safe. So I run at another time if I'm going to run, take me a quick run, I wait till everybody's up, going to work or something like that. When everybody's moving around, because I want to be safe. I don't want to be looking like somebody running through the night. And it just might be a run. But by the time they figure that out, it's too late. Remember this here. A lie can give a truth a head start and catch them and pass them up. It'll take 100 years for a truth to catch up with a lie. No. So perception is everything. Not making yourself a threat. And you know, and because it made me think about that young man, you know, because, you know, man, my young people, sometimes it's not about are you right or you wrong. Sometimes you got to step outside the box and take a picture of it and look and just and look at that situation and look at the perception of it. And, you know, like I say, man, in my opinion, you don't never run out no store. You don't run out no store. You don't run out no store because there's somebody in the parking lot. You know, it draws attention. If somebody busts out the store and run out the store or something, man, that's gonna cause some kind of tension. So you don't never run, you know. And then it already had looked like, it had already appeared like. So this is what I'm trying to say, man. You want to learn to take all that out of the picture whenever you moving around, man. I don't even go in them kind of stores, man. You know, I don't even go in. I never go in stores that are not ran by white people. I go to corporate stores. White people are not gonna shoot you behind no. They're not gonna run you down. They're not worried about that cup. They're not worried about that cup. They're not worried about that ice or nothing. I go to Buc-ee's. I go to stuff like that because you can test the ice. You can test the soda water because, you know, ice can be flat. I mean, ice can taste, you know, that funny taste. And soda water can be bad. But not at Buc-ee's, though. Not at Buc-ee's. That's why I go to them. But you go to anywhere else, you know, you could be checking something just to make sure you don't want to, you know, you don't want to buy that if it's bad. But you can't go to no independent ran filling station, Shell, none of Exxon, none of that, messing with them foreigners. You got to buy that cup if you grab that cup. You might have to buy that cup, man. Don't even argue with it. So I'm telling you now, don't grab the cup. Don't buy that shit. Hey, listen, don't buy it because they might have some foul tasting ice. You know they ain't gonna clean it like, you know they ain't got the resources to keep getting that stuff clean like them white folks. And then the soda water might could be flat, and then you grab that stuff and you decide that you don't want it, man, they gonna want you to buy that. They gonna say you gotta buy that. Some people might buck and get away with it, but like I say, that's a high-risk situation right there. I don't even mess with them at all. I never go buy nothing. I don't buy nothing out of filling stations or none of those small corner stores. No way, because I'm not finna pay no $3 for no soda water, and I'm not finna pay no $2.50 for no candy bar. You know, like I said, I'm a conservative. I come from the old school. I do budget shopping. So it's not even hard for me. Listen, let me tell you something. I feel like that dude, like I say, created a situation, man. The perception is there. But I never did go, like I said, I don't buy out of them, whether that's a white establishment or not. Corner, shells and stuff like that, I don't buy it. None of that. You know what I'm saying? Down those aisles. It's just gas and go. But whenever I want a fountain drink or something, I go to a white establishment, corporate America, where they is not sweating that small stuff. You know, so, you know, like, again, your surroundings, man. You got to pay attention where you going, who the people you dealing with, because you already know they looking when you go in them stores, because it might not even be about the race at that point or thinking that you finna steal something. It might not even be about that, but I'm trying to tell you that those little independent places like that, man, whether it's a Shell or something like that there, if they in there, that means that's their independent stuff, and they got to pay for that. So they might just be looking to make sure you don't throw away nothing, you know, like a cup, using a cup, just wasting their stuff. You know, anything. They don't want you to waste that stuff. So that's why it's like that, you know. So you got to understand this here. And, you know, even when I go to grocery stores, I always park out. I park out and I park by the pole where the lights at, where the cameras at, and where I can see. I don't like people parking on the side of me at all. I park out where I gotta walk, where I can see everything that's going on around me. Because see, somebody can get up on you like that and scare you. Somebody got up on me when I was going to work, 3 in the morning. I went to take the gas cap off and I turned around, somebody was up on me. And man, they scared me to death, man. And they knew they scared me, but at the same time, I had got on the defense, but they knew they hadn't scared me. I had to almost react to where I wanted to do something to them. That's just how they scared me. And, you know, and when I left that, man, when I drove off, I said to myself, man, how did you let that person get up on you like that? You don't supposed to let them people get up on you like that. That's all I kept saying to myself. You don't supposed to let them people get up on you. So I'm always paying attention to that kind of stuff. And, you know, and when I'm walking up to the store, I walk down the aisle at the cars go down, where people can see me, where I'm visible. Because you cutting through cars and it's a woman out there with her kids or something, they smile and stuff, and she trying to handle them and trying to get the groceries together and trying to put that in the car, and then she sees somebody weaving through the cars coming toward her. That's gonna make her nervous. So you got to think about these kind of things, not making yourself a threat, man. Listen, like I said, you might just be going up to the store, but she don't realize this, man. She trying to get in. She trying to get in. She trying to get into a vehicle. In heavens, she see you coming, and then next thing you know, somebody got up on her, and then she'll be forever regretting that. She'll be saying, you know, people just be saying to themselves, I let that person get up on me, and I seen them coming. So, you know, always try to make yourself not a threat too. You are responsible for what happens to you, good or bad. Take care of yourself, people. I'm your pound for pound Texan. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and thank you for riding with me. Thank you.